So will you guys go to do you guys go to nationals?
Yes, we are. We are going to nationals.
So nationals meaning Orlando or
Dallas.
Dallas?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah, okay. So it's there people get in here for a minute. So when do you guys leave? When will you guys leave for that then?
My family, we are going to leave the 27th because my mom is the director of our club, and so she wants to be able to watch other kids, the younger kids play. So we're going to go up a little earlier.
So are you going to make like the marathon trip like you're there 2 weeks?
No, no, we're going to stay. I actually have an uncle that lives in Dallas, so we're going to stay with him for 4th of July and then come back home the 5th.
Oh, nice. So you get a little break
Yeah.
after you guys play.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about being done with your decision. You don't have to.
Not hurrying to camps, not stressing about that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it'll be nice to get a little break. So, okay. Well, hey, everybody tuning in live. I am with one of the newest Wildcats of K State. And so, Alice Wood, thank you for joining me, Alice. And now that both of us got our tech issues worked out. So, thank you. But, Alice, tell everybody, as everybody kind of filters in here little by little. Tell everybody and me where you're from.
I'm from Fairhope, Alabama. So, as far south as you can go in Alabama and in the US. Super small town. Um, I moved when I was in kindergarten and super humid and I love it.
See that big guys like me, we do not like the humidity. So
No, my dad hates it.
we melt. We melt. So
Yes.
we were talking before we started recording here, but also home to Merritt Beeson and one of my favorite. And you were saying that your mom played in a tournament against her.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So like just this off season or not too long
No,
ago?
it was actually it was a few years ago, and her she was amazing on her high school team, and my mom said that she would serve merit so then that they could set somebody and then that the rallies would go a little longer because her high school team was good, but she served merit so there'd be more rallies.
Oh, gotcha. So your mom coaches high school,
Yes.
and then she played against Merritt's high school team.
Yes.
I thought Merritt just came back and hopped in
Oh
under.
no, it was while merit was in high school.
Okay,
Yes.
I was like, I wonder if she told her coaches that maybe. Okay,
It was a while ago. Yeah.
that makes much more sense. Got it a while ago.
Yes.
Yeah, and we both talked about though how I was so impressed that she just stated at the end of her pro season how one of her big time goals is to come back home and really put all their time and efforts into making Alabama volleyball in the state of Alabama big time and starting a club
Yeah.
and yeah, I know. So I just love her, and has become one of my favorite players because of her leadership. I just admire the heck out of her. So enough about Merritt Beeson, and let's talk
He's
about
easy
you.
to talk about.
Yeah, she is a good one to talk about. But let's talk about you and club that you play for and that your mom runs. But tell us about your club a little bit.
So, it's called Lower Alabama Volleyball, LAV. And my mom started it when we moved here from Texas. She actually coached at TAV. And we moved down here and she started LAV. And I have an older sister who also played volleyball. And my mom wanted to be able to provide a place for her to play club. And so it started out super small, super raw, not a lot of talent, but it was just getting going. And every year it's grown in size and it's gotten better and better each year, and every year there's like one standout team. But we are consistently getting better across the board.
And I tell this story all the time. Now, you talked about being from a small town, so
Yes.
like tell me small, like what population wise?
Oh, I should know this. Oh,
Just guesstimate about how.
about, I should know this, but I really don't think I can give you an estimate. That's embarrassing. I've lived here for
Like
10 years.
like a couple thousand,
A bit
10,000?
bigger. I
Okay,
think about 10,000, I think.
okay, all right. Well, we're a little bit bigger in Sioux Falls, but I always tell, so with Kairos, I tell the story over and over. But their director did the same thing and just started a more competitive volleyball club. But they started with one team,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
they had to combine age groups because they didn't have enough girls in one age group to go to nationals.
So they combined all different ages. Wow.
Yeah. And now you look at them having, one team in open every age group and then multiple teams going to nationals every year. But it started with 1 year, right?
Yeah. It's got to start somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I have so much respect for smaller clubs that start and build and build and build. And I'm guessing the big metro clubs started that way a long, long time ago. But yeah, so clubs like your mom that do that, I love hearing their stories
Yeah.
of how they start. So it was coming up. Let's talk about K-State before we talk about your game a little bit.
Okay.
Um, how did the communication start? Had you heard a lot about their program before, Jason, or just talk about your relationship with them? Was there anything before this year?
So last year they were recruiting a middle blocker on my team, Cami Huff, who actually is going to West Virginia. Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be in the same conference, so super exciting. They were actually recruiting her, and I had emailed. My mom. I really had no idea what I wanted to do or where I wanted to go, but my dream was to play in Power Four, and so mass emailing. Really, if they had a volleyball program, they were getting an email from
Yeah.
me. And so they actually came to evaluate Cami, and then I think that's how they said they saw me and they said, "Oh, we've seen her. We'll check her off." I was actually in a boot on the sideline. I had a clipboard and I was, trying to help my team win. And I signed up for camp. So I went to 5 camps last summer. Uh, K-State being one of them, and I had an amazing time. The coaches were all super easy to talk to. Coach Andrew and Coach Kelly were not there yet. It was Fiona. She was still there. And I was on Steve's court pretty much the entirety of the camp. And he was super easy to talk to, super nice, super personable. And it made me feel like they wanted to get to know me as a person and not just how many balls can I set in the same location. And so it was a 2-day camp, and me and my mom went, and I loved it. And then um, we started the next club season, and I just began to kept on emailing them. I was also emailing other schools, still
Sure.
just trying to get my name out there to get some evaluations. And for as long as this whole club season, they've seriously been to every single game possible. And it's super flattering because whether it's Jason or Coach Steve or Coach Andrew or Coach Kelly, they were on my court, and it made me feel wanted, and it made me feel like they saw me, even though coming from such a small club.
Yeah.
And so I went to camp this last week. Yeah, last week I went to camp, and it was even more better than last year. I was pretty much on Coach Steve's court the entire time, and they actually gave us food recommendations of where we should go in downtown where they like. So my family and I got to explore downtown Manhattan, and it feels exactly like Fairhope does where I live. It's just better parking, but it's pretty much the exact same thing, and it felt like home. And Coach Steve and Coach Jason, again, were super personable and super easy to talk to. And then, yeah, here I am.
Yeah, well, and we made predictions in my preseason stuff that I felt like I picked a team, a surprise team program to have a surprise class, and I picked K State in the Big 12 simply because looking at some of the people they had at camp. Now, you were not one of them. Was off our radar, and but it's a college town, Manhattan.
Yes.
That is the show. In
Yes.
K State is the show in Manhattan, and
Yes.
you
For
know a lot
sure.
of places lose that
Uh-huh. Yeah.
nowadays. But with football, right, basketball and volleyball, the facilities. Talk to people that haven't been there about that volleyball facility because I believe it's 2 years old now. Maybe
Yes. It
third.
was opened in 23.
Yeah. So talk to people about it and explain how nice that place is because not many places have just a volleyball
Yes.
facility.
Yeah, so they have a volleyball arena, and for camp, actually, they laid out 3 courts, and all 3 courts were Terraflex, and it was amazing. And they have a VIP section up on like the second level. They have their locker room, their weight room, trainers, ice tub, hot tub, and they have their weight room, which they share with track and field, rowing, and one other sport, I believe. And then they also have turf down, a place for running, and it's the most, yeah, the prettiest gym I've ever been in. You know,
Yeah.
I probably haven't seen that many, but it truly is state of the art. It's beautiful. They actually made a video of them like opening it and kind of what games are like there. It is pretty fantastic. It's hard to explain, but once you see it just through a camera, you get the picture. It's amazing.
Yeah, there was actually a gal from South Dakota who was from a town a lot smaller than yours that was a senior the year they opened that. It was her senior year, and Katie's senior year was the year they opened that. So she sent a lot of pictures back home, and I remember it was like, oh my goodness, and it doesn't get talked about enough. And the other thing we talked about yesterday was you guys added another big piece to the class in Lydia. And I don't know if you
Yes.
have ran across her before or played her team. And
I played her team 2 times now. Yeah.
yeah, all right. So
She's
give us a
amazing.
scouting report because I saw her one time last year, but I mean, her stats in high school were unbelievable.
Yes.
But I've only seen her once this year early. So give everybody quick before I try and break down your game. Give everybody a breakdown, all the K State fans out there, a breakdown of Lydia Shinchar, the outside or opposite slash setter.
Yeah, she's super physical. She's a big girl, but she moves really, really well, and she's a game changer. She can pretty much hit. So in rhythm, she's amazing. Out of system, she's amazing. From 5, if their setter's launching it back to her, she's good. She's super shoddy. You can tell that she has really good court awareness and complete control over her body, and so she can pretty much do whatever she wants to do. And she's a big piece of that no name team. She's great.
Yeah, the No Name team who sent like their entire team almost. They've sent like 4 girls that have gotten offers already in like 2 days. So
Yeah,
pretty good.
it's been amazing for them. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. So Alice, I watched, and I do not pretend, but I'm working really, really hard at getting better because I love watching films. So when I saw you and wasn't privy to have watched you before, I took about 40 minutes yesterday that I could find and started watching film. And again, you would go down in that horrible category of just too small, right? Like
Yeah.
you're right, 5'9", right? And
Yes,
so
with shoes on. Yeah.
thank you. You're like, hey, who cares now, right? You're like, I'm verbal. It doesn't matter anymore, right? Like
Exactly.
I can be as short as I want to be. Yeah. So yeah, but when you watch, even I can tell you have amazingly soft hands, and your accuracy, even an old football coach can tell your accuracy is amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. So your technique, even I was like texting people like, hey, have you heard of this girl? Like, I was a fan just like that of your technique, and everywhere on the court, you're getting out of system balls and you're moving. You can tell you've been in a gym before. The only thing is you're 5'9". So
Exactly.
yeah. So just talk about your game, and it's okay to brag about yourself a little bit.
Well, I've always played a year up, and so my mom's been super big on that's not an excuse for you to not perform still at a high level. And so for as long as I can remember, before practice each day, we're getting in for about an hour and we're just setting balls into the hoop. And it is monotonous. It is sometimes frustrating, or I don't want to get in, but she's been super good about being consistent. Because when I'm younger, I have this dream, but the dream doesn't work out for everybody. So I was thinking I'm going to dream it now, and next year I'm going to have a new dream. And I was okay with that at the time. And she was like, we are going to keep on working at this. And the old Delaware coach, Sean, who is now at Lehigh, he used to coach at South, and that wasn't a good fit. So he actually came into the LAV gym and he master coached for us for a little bit, and he's a setting coach. And him and my mom got super close, and so he actually started giving me lessons before practice, and he was able to say words that I understood. And so we only worked for 3 months, and my game increased significantly. And so he actually took the Delaware job. And so my mom remembered all the drills he did. And so we kept on doing them. And then as I've gotten older, I believe that my biggest asset is to be able to get my hands on a lot of balls. And so since I am shorter, I can move fast. I pretty much put my hands on a lot of balls. I really don't bump set that many times. And so even if the pass is low or off, I can still go pin to pin, and I'm good at getting our middles involved. But I think it is truly because of setting before practice with Sean and with my mom. So
Yeah, and you did. When I think I got in or parts of 6 or 8 different matches and parts of them, and that was common in all of them. They weren't highlights; they were just watching Mac. When Mac was with me, that's what she said. She said, "Don't watch highlights, watch
watch the
game."
low lights.
And she knows what she's talking about, so she taught me well. And so watching that was consistent, that you get to all kinds of balls, right? And
Yes.
but your accuracy, and just it was almost like therapeutic how soft your hands were. And I'm like, I really like this kid, and like a little water bug out there. So I loved it. But obviously, what are things going on now? Because I'm going to ask every prospect going forward is, because I've learned in the first 3 classes now that I've covered, the biggest mistake you can make is exhaling like I made it, because we all haven't made anything. We just
Exactly.
we
Yes.
just verbal to something like, yes, like I'll be there. Well, you haven't done anything yet, right? Like, hey,
Yeah.
feel good for 48 hours and then get your rear end back to work. But
exactly.
so
Yes.
what do you need because you can't stretch yourself out. I don't think we've invented that yet. Is AI? Can AI do that for you yet?
They're close. They're close.
Yeah, probably. So what do you do? What do you do in these next 18 months, 24 months to get yourself ready to head to Manhattan? What are you handling on?
I am short, vertical,
Yeah.
You can, that part has always been a struggle, but I think the older I get more aware of my body, and I work out. We have an amazing strength coach, and he's able to make us jump high in the weight room, and now we figure out how to translate it onto a court, because anyone can touch 10 feet on a vertec, and then they get on the court and they're not touching,
Yep.
so it's hard. But I think that's one of my biggest things is increasing my vertical. Also location, because anyone can set an outside ball at the same time. Not everyone can set a slide and keep tempo, or behind a 9 or a red, whatever you call it, and keep tempo, a bic and keep tempo. So those are things that I'm going to work on, is how can I keep my game creative. So not ABC, how can I figure out how to put my hitters in the best positions? And that just comes with more reps. You don't, it's not just, hey, you got to do this and then it'll happen. It's just getting reps and more touches on volleyballs. And so I think I'm going to work on how can I keep on being creative and then still being able to locate.
Yeah. And the only advice I'd give you is go to situations where you fail and get used to it. And that's not a negative.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Go play against even older girls, right?
Yeah.
Older athletes, women's league, whatever, where it's as fast as you can possibly go, and fail and then learn to succeed.
Yeah.
Right?
Get outside your comfort zone. Yeah.
Yeah, big time. Because I've talked to so many P4 girls that are like, I had no idea of the speed. And so you can't replicate it. So get used to pushing yourself as fast as possible. And then you might get close, right? But where you're at is nowhere close. And I have no idea what they're talking about. But if they all say it, they got to be right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Alice, we're going to let you go. And man, some of the people I talk to, right, and they just get used to doing interview after interview and award after award. It just refreshes me so much. But to hear somebody like you who appreciates this opportunity, right, is working for it, I am so pumped. And I think Coach has got a good class going. You get out and help them recruit, right? You help them build. And you're going to get down to when you get down to a football game, then you're going to take advantage of the official visit in the fall.
Yeah, my head isn't even there yet. Yeah, my head isn't even there yet.
Like, this is bigger for football players, but you take advantage. That's the best meal you ever get. Football guys realize that more, but you take advantage of that. And taking a football game. I know some of those old football coaches on that staff. So Saturday in Manhattan's pretty cool. So you make sure they give you a good official visit, okay?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah, I am excited. Hopefully we get to see you in Dallas.
Yes, sir. Hopefully.
And get to meet your mother, but I'm excited to follow you more. And K-State fans out there, we'll show some clips. Make sure and follow this young lady. Alice, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Keep those Wildcats rolling and keep working on your game. And young ladies like you who appreciate this, really excited for you. So great to meet you.
Thank you.
And we will hopefully meet you in the future, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right, for everybody else, we'll be back with more recruits as 2027 class is just getting rolling. There are hundreds of more to come over the next several months and years, so we'll be back with much more still to come. Take care, everybody. Thanks, Alice. See ya.
Bye.